Welcome to the Big O Money Show. Bill Altman here from the Premier Advisory Group. Tony Shore, co-host. Right here from Premier Studios, we have Brenda Dinan, our special guest. But she's here all the time, here in the office all the time. She's in the studio quite often. Very happy to have you. What's going on, Brenda?
Thank you for having me, you guys. I'm so happy to be here.
Wow.
And I am very excited for what we are going to talk about this morning.
Yes, and we're going to talk about really our show topic today. We're going to talk about many things, of course, but women in finance. And so often it's unfortunate because sometimes that side gets left out. And whether people like it or not, or they want to believe it or not, typically it's the male that takes care of the finances in the household. Not always. What we really try to do here is make sure it's extremely balanced. Like, I want everybody to know what's going on. Maybe someone knows more technically what's going on, but everybody needs to know that 10,000 foot view. What do we have? Where is it at? What happens to you if something happens? Where do I call? What do I do? Can I support myself? What's the income going to look like? What are the values in our 401k? How much do we contribute? All those type of things, Brenda.
Yes, absolutely.
And we want the relationship to be harmonious where people they really understand, and you have a meeting, and when you sit down, you get it. And there's not a sleepless night saying, what's going on? I wish I knew more. But sometimes it's like, I just feel stupid about it. Comments like that we hear. And we want to try to completely alleviate that. Brenda has some very exciting presentations coming up that we're opening, and it will be open to women only.
Correct. So, and I thank you for the opportunity to do these meetings. They will be Wednesday, February 18th and Thursday, February 19th at Champions Run here in Omaha. And we're excited. Bring yourself, bring a friend. We're going to talk about anything women specific when it comes to retirement, your overall retirement package. What does it look like? What are you planning for? What would you expect? Whether you're married, whether you're single, it doesn't matter. These are unique issues for women specifically. And we're really excited to have this opportunity, meet with you, discuss with you. And I think it'll be an excellent presentation. Very fun.
Yeah,
fun,
absolutely.
Fun environment as well.
And you'll also have a guest, Andrew Galvin, there. And Andrea is going to be there. She's an estate planning attorney.
Absolutely. So Andrea Galvin is a local estate attorney, and she will jump in on the presentation as well to talk about some very important topics that I think get lost in the mix until an issue arises, unfortunately. And that's not the right thing to do. So Andrea is always a very popular speaker and someone that people like to meet with because she will talk about wills, trusts, all of that kind of thing. So definitely we have a thorough presentation.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, Bill, just a second. I have to say, so it's Brenda Dinan and Andrea Galvin will be speaking at this event.
Yep.
I'm kind of bummed out here. It's women only.
It is. This is a dating opportunity for me. I'm happily married, or Bill Kaiser for that matter.
Yeah, no, I am too. But those are two of my favorite people in the world, Brenda Dinan and Andrea Galvin. I have so much respect for them. Wish I could go to this event. That sounds amazing. I mean, the knowledge you have when it comes to finance, and Andrea with estate planning. That's going to be a great event. I'm really excited that you guys are doing that.
And I'm pretty sure, too, another special guest, we haven't locked her down entirely, or the team. It will be one of the two, but one of the two ladies on our tax team, either Julie Moeller or Tatum, either one of them might be there to talk a little bit about tax, introduce. So do have a really good lineup of presenters. Yeah. One thing about this I want to make sure everybody knows. First of all, I'm pretty sure you said the time, but 11 o'clock will start promptly. And you can expect to go, you could be out of there by 12. We're going to book kind of like 11 to 1 at Champions. We're going to serve lunch. So lunch will be served right away for the most part. So expect it, right after the presentation gets started. And as Brenda and Andrea and Julie are talking, you can enjoy again your lunch. It is fully complimentary.
Nice.
There is no sales process here involved. I want to make sure the majority of people being invited to this event really are your clients, Brenda.
Yes, the vast majority are people who I've already worked with
So, and this
previously.
And this is what we do here, is to make sure that we're putting on events where our clients can come and get re-educated over and over again on different topics, changes in laws, and just a good refresh, because we go through life and sometimes, of course, we can get back on the bicycle and ride it, but the first ride after a while might be a little wonky. You know what I mean? So we want to just
Right.
kind of keep you fresh constantly, because it's not your day-to-day, where it is our day-to-day.
Yep.
Now we're actually opening it up to KFAB Nation, our listeners on this morning's show. So if you do want to book and reserve your time, it is reservation only. So you really do have to book. We do have limited space, but you can give us a call direct here at the office, 402-557-6730. Again, 402-557-6730. Brenda, what are those dates again?
So we have Wednesday, February 18th and Thursday, February 19th.
So something you'd want to arrive by about, 10:45, 10:50, get seated, get your packets,
Yes.
and then we can get orders so Brenda can get started right at 11. So we can get you out of there too at a decent time.
Perfect.
Yep. So give us a call, 402-557-6730. Certain things that will be discussed, the widow's penalty.
Right. So,
Yep.
just when you're married, and statistically speaking, and of course, there's always outliers. However, but statistically speaking, from a lifespan perspective, women live longer.
Mhm.
And that has to be taken into consideration when you are planning for your retirement and the what ifs. You do not want to run into a situation where you run out of money. And unfortunately, again, from a statistical standpoint, women, once a partner passes away, or if they are single going into retirement, tend to more often than not, skirt that poverty line or are in the poverty line. That's not good. We want to make sure that we're planning ahead and avoiding that situation for anybody.
Oh yeah, so important. And that longevity, right? We're talking about,
Yes.
how long do you live? Who sits around the table at the nursing home? It's at the
Yeah.
8 stop, it's 7 women and 1 man.
Yeah, it's
A very,
true.
a very popular man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Very happy man, shall I say? Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
both my parents are in, long-term care in a nursing home, and I go in there and I'm going to say 85% women are in this long-term care. And yes, the guys, especially the ones that are still cognitive, very popular, very popular.
Right.
Well, and you get into wage gaps too, with various genders. Such, the man typically has made more money. They're able to save more money, meaning their Social Security was always higher.
Right.
Right. And so that's something different that we're going to talk about. It's so important to secure income in retirement.
Yes. So, and also the longevity we talked about, but with longevity typically comes healthcare issues. The older you get, again, playing the statistics, the odds, so that always factors in too. And that is a draw on your income as well as time goes by.
And speaking healthcare, you're no stranger.
Absolutely not. My wheelhouse, I started out working in healthcare when I first graduated college. So I always try to take that perspective when I am working with people. I think that gives me a little unique spin on how I am looking at things. But I've worked in health insurance for the majority of my career. So Medicare, of course, factoring into our retirement planning decisions. But all of that is going to come together so that we're planning ahead and you have a solid, stable, and somewhat predictable, we can't predict everything, of course, but somewhat predictable financial future.
Right.
Make sure you're taken care of.
Right. Absolutely. And Brenda, you have a master's in business administration.
I do.
You have worked all your professional life really with healthcare. You're all ages for the most part, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Right?
I enjoyed working with my older
Right.
clientele, which I think has, moved me forward doing what I do now, quite honestly.
And in this retirement space that you've been in for so long, because Brenda was with us on an operations role. She was director of operations here gosh, time flies, 10 years ago or something.
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean, it is.
Right.
It is.
Right. So,
Time
they
flies when
really,
you're having fun, right?
it really it seems like
Goodness.
yesterday, but it doesn't. It cruises, right? And so she's been with us in so many capacities, but her main profession, the professional business side of Brenda's career, has been working with retirees and pre-retirees, in retirement, seniors, people that are really aging. They're, to where they need more help and more assistance. And how do we make sure that they can sustain their retirement in the healthiest way possible, without the stress and worrying about, am I going to run out of money? How do I protect what I have? Is my health insurance, my Medicare, adequate? Right? Is my
Absolutely.
prescription drugs, is everything being covered? What happens here? Can I go to this place? Can I go to that place? That's your deal.
For sure. And I love having and engaging in those conversations, because I think from a high level, it sounds really simple. It's not.
Right.
And there's a lot involved, and things change so frequently. So working with a local licensed reputable insurance agent is always a wise idea, I would say, for anybody looking into that. And doing what we're doing with this presentation, focusing on women, not that men aren't important, everybody's important, but focusing on women, there are unique challenges. And confidence, I think, is a big one, where, again, this isn't the way it is across the board, but women are a little less confident talking about these things. They might be embarrassed, or they don't want to bring certain things up. And we don't want that. We welcome conversations. We want all of your information, and we're not going to judge anybody for anything. Okay?
Absolutely right. And really to also try to help increase that level of communication within a relationship.
Yes.
Right.
Too.
So
Yes.
and that's so important. Like Danielle and I, we talk about, she's the more 10,000 foot view person. She knows that things are fine and we have money in various places and we're saving for retirement and have the will and the powers of attorney and all that kind of good stuff. Right. She gets that and knows it's there, and we have that discussion, kind of let her know on that high level, just because she doesn't want to know more. She's just not interested, to be honest with you. She does her real estate. She's obviously mom and all that. But having that conversation allows us to just really great communication, and talk about a relationship booster.
Yes. I all of that comes together for sure, Bill. Very excellent points. And also there's women who may be single.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay too. So we want to make sure that you do have the tools in your toolbox and the knowledge. We're going to be there to help you 100%. If you have questions, concerns, call us.
Right.
We will help you through all of this. We'll help you navigate those waters. It's okay.
Right.
That's why, we welcome those types of conversations.
So often we see women not take their ex-spousal benefits. Social Security isn't sending you a letter and letting you know that you can actually take benefits on your ex-spouse. You can take up to half of their Social Security. It does not affect them. It does not affect their new spouse at all. And some people might say, darn, I wish it would, but it doesn't, right? And so you can rest assured knowing you're hurting nobody on this, but there are benefits there for you. If your ex-spouse passes away, you can actually be eligible for full benefits. How about survivorship benefits? Your spouse passes away, you can take survivorship benefits as early as age 60 years old. I believe it's 87.6% of their full retirement benefit as early as 60 years old. How many people don't know that? Social Security isn't sending a letter saying, hey, this, we're sorry to hear about Matt. Did you know that you're eligible now for Social Security benefits? For some reason, they don't send that letter out, whatever it may be.
That's an excellent point. And I try to bring that up in my conversations too, is that, when it comes to, the government getting their money, they're pretty proactive. But when it is the vice versa, not necessarily the same thing. We can help navigate those types of waters as well. And we do a complimentary Social Security maximization reports here in our office as well. That helps you, depending on your emotional needs as well as your facts and figures. Emotion does play a little bit into figuring out when it makes the most sense for you to start taking your Social Security benefits too. So keep that in mind. We do offer the Social Security maximization report as well. And I think that opens a lot of people's eyes in a very positive way, that I think they thought they'd have to continue working a little bit longer than maybe they need to. Or, if they love their job, they know I can continue growing my Social Security benefit and continue working for a few more years.
Right. And we'll let you know. And so when it comes down to that piece, you'll know when you're ready. So when we run everything through, and it's going to say, hey, you can go now if you wanted to. You're 62 and you could retire. But I don't know if I'm quite, then you're not ready. If you don't know you're ready and you like going in and you like your colleagues and things are great, but at some point you'll know. You'll say, hey, I'm ready to retire. I don't want to, wake up as early as anymore. I want to do a little traveling. I want to see the grandkids, whatever it may be, you'll know. We want to be able to put the plan together for you that you're enabled. You now know you have that knowledge. Knowledge is power, where you can retire if you want to. Now it's back in your court. And it's no longer the ball is in the stock market's court or wherever else. We want you to be able to make that decision and make an intelligent one.
And I've seen so many people, even just in that initial conversation, Bill, people working with you, people working with other people here in the office. I've had these situations too, where just a huge sigh of relief.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that
tears,
funny?
Tears.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Really though. Yeah. Because they didn't know.
That's amazing.
Or they'll log into their Fidelity benefits, net benefits 401k, and up in the right-hand corner it says, you need 1.3 million to retire and you have 400,000 or whatever. And you say, oh, I'm never going to be able to get there. Well, how does Fidelity net benefits know about your lifestyle? Did it ask the questions of what is your income need? Are all your debts paid? Do you have kids that are coming off the payroll pretty soon that won't be there in retirement?
And what's their motivation for putting that there? Oh, it's to make you think they're always going
push more in, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They want you to think you need about 5 times more than you have always, no matter how much you have.
Right.
So,
and it's just hogwash. It's not. It is not the way it really is, because every situation is different. If Mr. Jones over here likes to go buy a new Ferrari every other year, his income situation and his needs are going to be a little different than my dad, who is in love with a Subaru. And
right.
has been paid for
I mean,
right.
Not everybody has to save up for the lifestyle of, say, a Bill Kaiser.
That's correct.
I'm just throwing that out there. Not everybody has to live lavishly like that and have the multiple homes and the large ranch.
Guy.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I feel bad for Bill sometimes.
Yeah. And we kid. He's probably the most humble one I know.
He is, and that's why it's fun to tease him. He is so nice. Too nice, too humble. Yeah.
So, like today, not today, but earlier this week, I went through a situation with clients, and it's where the spouse wants to be really educated and know what's going on. She's a little bit older than her husband, and everything's good. Communication is great, but she really wants to be keyed in at this point, and she has not been the breadwinner. So we go through things like, and we put together a compass report, for instance, and this compass report will have an asset allocation. It will have what this guy's IRA is worth currently, what her IRA is worth currently, how much they have in their joint account for savings, what they have in their actual bank accounts personally, what they're contributing to their IRA, when they have to take out their required minimum distributions. So we punch all of this in here to come up with, what's going on. As of right now, at 52 years old, there's about $608,000 in this particular situation. But they're going to be contributing. He's going to work until 64. She's going to work until 64 as well. And so she'll be retired a little earlier, but her pension also kicks on, which is $36,000 a year. Again, required distributions have to come out at 75. They have an income goal of 150,000. We put a 3% cost of living adjustment on there. We include their Social Security income, their employment income ending at a certain time, and that pension income starting. So now we go forward and see what they can actually do. They go to full retirement, $55,000 in Soc, $36,000 in pension. They take $58,000 out of their investments, which were currently worth about $1.8 million as we fast forward to that age 64 years old. And they have their income goal met at $150,000. That continues on. So what we show you is we show you a report with real numbers, a real ledger, very, very easy to understand, with a very conservative blended rate of return of only 4.9%. on here. So we are really making things conservative to the point where what happens if the market doesn't return what it has returned for so long? What happens if we go into a long-term recessionary period, or the dollar weakens, or inflation all these things that we want to plan for the worst and hope for the best. Is that what they say? And so we do that, and 4.9 is a very, very conservative forecast, I believe. Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's safe money options that even can return close to that right now. So.
You're exactly right. So again, really dumbing that down, and so then we go forward and say, okay, at say 80 years old, where will they be? $2.3 million at that 4.9. Their income that year was $233,000. Still at $2.308 million, and continuing to grow at that point. So just think if the market did a little bit better, just 1%, the numbers are going to look dramatically different with time and the time value of money and compounding and how that works. But that's what we want to create for you, a plan that you know and understand and can see the raw numbers of saying, this is where, if everything kind of just was below average for all these years, what would it look like? Right? And then at that point, then we also talk about, well, what will your healthcare look like at that time? How about long-term care and home health care? What are you going to do about that? Are there ways to self-insure for that? Can you put money into a life insurance policy that's guaranteed for the rest of your life? And it will definitely go to beneficiaries. It's never going to lapse. Premiums never go up. But you're also able to accelerate the death benefit for long-term care needs and home health care.
Excellent. Those hybrid, types of policies where there's a built-in death benefit, but you can use the money in the event that you need it for long-term care. Long-term care is, it's one of those things, and I really stress this when we have the Medicare conversations, because I think there's a really big misconception that Medicare helps with long-term care. It does not. No Medicare plan helps with long-term care. So that's definitely an important conversation. So good point, Bill.
Yeah, that's right. And what's traditional Medicare cover? A certain amount of days after a hospital stay, maybe?
So short-term skilled nursing stays, yes, but that maxes out at day 100.
Yeah, and then you're on your own entirely.
Correct.
And then you can really start to drain an estate. A nursing, and there's some nice nursing homes, but I don't know if a nursing home is ever a nice place necessarily. I don't know. You know what I mean? Know what I mean, guys. Tony, your parents are in them. Brenda, you get the sitch. We'd rather be at home in our house in our own bed.
Everybody.
Right? Absolutely. Right? Yes.
But you're still paying 12. You can go to the nicest ones, the Brookstones, the Heritages, all these super nice nursing homes, right? And you're still paying $12,000, $14,000, $10,000 a month.
Right.
100 fees a year.
And that's only going to increase as the years go by.
Right.
However, on the flip side of that, it's not just care in a facility. Well, there is long-term care while somebody still is at home. And that is still a large expense. And with these hybrid policies that we were just talking about a second ago, there's always that possibility of pulling that money out and using it in the home too for long-term care. It depends on your needs and your situation.
So basically, it's not a use it or lose it. It's not like our car insurance, which we need, right? But if I never get in an accident, then the car insurance company never pays. State Farm never pays out, right? And so they get to keep all the money. If I get in an accident, then my policy covers them. With these type of hybrid policies that we're talking about, it's never a use it or lose it. Your family is you're making a shift from the right pocket to the left pocket. Your family is always going to get this money. And it might not be until after you die. And if you need it while you're living, it's there as well, which is fantastic if you cannot meet 2 out of 6 activities of daily living. Brenda, we are about out of time. Can you give our dates again, please?
Yes. So for our Women in Finance event, it's Wednesday, February 18th. It's Thursday, February 19th, beginning at 11. We definitely want you checking in a little bit earlier. And if it's an event you're interested in, just give us a call here at the office to register for the event so that we definitely have enough space prepared.
Yes, and that number 402-557-6730. You can always find us on the web at bigomoney.com.
All right. Great show. Thank you so much, Brenda Dinan, for being here. Fantastic. I love the Women in Finance events that you're putting on. And listeners, that does it for today's episode of the Big O Money Show with our host, Bill Altman, and special guest, Brenda Dinan.